feel like I was ever taught that my worth is wrapped up in my physical appearance or my beauty. Now, maybe it was still misplaced. Like maybe I would have grown up feeling like my worth is in my usefulness or my talents or something, which is maybe another unhealthy perspective. Obviously, our worth is in Christ and everything.
I never want to be in that situation again. So either I have to take up running or never book a flight with a layover.
Yeah.
I'm going to not book flights with layovers because I'm not going to run.
To have a wait and see mentality. Like after a year, then we'll see what we have to work with.
Well, why'd you do it? Like death or missing a flight? Like... And I was like, yeah, you don't understand. I had kids. My mom might have killed me if I didn't make it home to pick up my kids.
People say, oh, wisdom comes with maturity and everything. But are they people just saying you'll have bigger cares and bigger problems and bigger fish to fry when you get older, so then these things won't matter as much?
I loved the way I looked. I was not self-conscious in any way, shape, or form. I thought I was hot.
I was never so proud as a parent. Like, there's so many hard things being a parent. Like, you never love so much. You never hurt so much. You all the things. I did not know what it felt like to be proud of, like, just bursting at the seams until I had a daughter. She was up at the spring program last year, this time, singing a solo.
Wow.
In front of almost 1,000 people, like, live at... Like, I'd rather die. I'd rather preach a sermon, a 40-minute sermon.
Same.
Over a 60-second. So
don't ask me to sing a scale or anything.
Yeah,
like, I'd rather do anything than sing.
Anyway, I just was like bursting. I was so proud of her. Like, oh my goodness, it was angelic and all the things. And so music just has something. You were talking in our last episode about how music makes you cry. You know, maybe you're not a great singer, but you can still learn to play musical instruments, which is why we're so thankful to be partnering with Voetberg Music Academy again today.
Voetberg Music Academy wants to reward your children with cash and badges for practicing their instrument. Join Voetberg Music Academy in the month of April, and in addition to weekly lessons, monthly live workshops, and showcases, your children can participate in the 6 Songs of Summer Challenge.
The Voetberg method approaches music differently. With by-ear training and song-based learning, students see immediate results and learn technique, note reading, and theory in a context that will stick with them forever. And what makes it even better, they can earn visual reminders for their hard work with the Voetberg Method's rank systems that mails badges and rank pins right to your doorstep.
Sign up for one of our signature piano, guitar, or fiddle courses and learn as a family. That's right, one membership for the whole family. And with our code Homemaker20, you will get 20% off each month you are enrolled.
Join thousands of Christian families that are cheering each other on in the VMA community as we progress on the student success path.
Join now with our code Homemaker20 to get 20% off each month you are enrolled and join the 2025 6 Songs of Summer Challenge.
Finally in some spring duds. Look at us.
It feels good. It is frightfully cold out there, but we're faking it till we make it, I guess.
That's right. I like to think when this podcast episode goes up, it's going to be like a warm, balmy 65 every day.
Let's hope. Today, did you see the snow flurries?
I know. And then this weekend it's supposed to be 70 degrees.
Yeah,
so it's like whiplash.
Wait.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
it is whiplash right now.
You know how I blessed them with like a 10-minute long story about the wind?
Yeah.
I have another wind story if
oh
you want to hear it.
You do not.
I think I could keep it under 60
was
seconds.
Was it 10 minutes? It was long.
It was
really long.
But it was so dramatic.
It was dramatic.
Anyway, I was like, once I start telling it, I have to tell all the pieces or it doesn't really make sense. But
right.
Anyway, no. So today was like crazy windy as it is this time of year. And my daughter and son came off the bus and they came in. They're like, your flower bouquet on your front door is off and out in the yard. I'm like, oh my goodness, my basket with flowers. That's my wreath on the front door. Well, it was crazy windy and there was a bird in there too, like making a nest in there. And I don't know, flew off the door and it survived the wind. There it was laying in the dirt. And I guess my puppy, my dog, my furry savage monster of a golden doodle was hungry and ate it. Like giant hole in the side. So it's like if the wind doesn't get something, my dog will. So I can't have pretty things. Like my mom always said, can't have nice things. And I'm like, now I get it.
Yep.
I just can't have nice things.
So true.
It's like, now what do? I go spend more money on another wreath that might or might not be ate for lunch? Or I hate wind. I think that's the moral of my life.
Yeah. It's a nuisance for sure.
I haven't seen you in a little bit. I wanted to ask you about Texas.
Oh, yeah. Texas was good. It was warm. We did.
Jayna's the jet setter of us too, if you haven't gathered that information by now.
At this stage of our life. We went to San Antonio. It was a business meeting for Eric and fun for me. And the Riverwalk was nice. It was not quite what we were expecting. It was way more congested but we were there ironically, or not ironically, coincidentally, over St. Patrick's Day. So it was packed.
Was it also spring break for some people?
Yes,
maybe?
and spring break. So the Riverwalk was packed in the evenings. You could hardly walk. I was pretty sure someone was going to push me into the river, but alas, I was spared.
That's a horrible thought.
I kept
it's very plausible.
Yeah, I was like, someone's just going to, put their elbow out at the wrong moment, and I'm going to go right into the river. But then we got there Saturday, and then Monday morning I went out, and it was just gorgeous. There was hardly anyone around, and I walked, and it was so nice. I'm like, this is what I was picturing. But in the evenings, it was just not a very nice place to be. I mean, it was a nice place to be. It was just very, very congested.
Yeah, I would definitely say I've been to San Antonio. We were there in June, like right before schools let out, so it was not terrible. A lot of Marines. I think there's like a Marine base close by or something.
There might be.
We saw a lot of them, but our naval base or something. Anyway, naval?
I don't know.
There's no water around there, is there? Anyway, I'm obviously not up to par on that kind of thing. But yeah, I would say that's a great destination for like a couples trip or just like a little anniversary trip or something like that. I didn't think it was like super kid friendly. I thought it was more of like a romantic place. I don't know how you felt it.
Yeah.
Like I think you'd fly in, get a hotel, use the spa on the roof, like use like the jacuzzi on the roof, get a massage the next morning. The food is really good. I love Mexican. So
we had a lot of good food.
Yeah.
We saw the Alamo.
We did the Alamo too. There's some markets and stuff that are fun. You kind of have to drive, though, for anything else.
Well, there was this market called the Pearl, and it's only on the weekends. But if you were ever in San Antonio on the weekend, it is a do not miss. It was awesome. It was kind of like, it was giving Magnolia vibes / Green Dragon, like a farmer's market. But they had so many cool things.
And you probably bought your boys some stuff. Like, was it affordable enough? Or it was just fun to browse?
I didn't buy a lot. It was just fun to see everything. There was a lot of food, too. So we did try some different food. Mm-hmm. I got a matcha. It was so good.
You know what? Anything is fun when it's just like you and your husband. It's
yeah.
just special. Like,
we went golfing. Eric went golfing and I tagged
But any city you're ever in is going to be a golfing
destination. That's what we do. And Eric said, well, we don't have to this time. I was like, what else are we going to do? That's what we do. You research the course and we go. And it's
semi-exercise. It's fresh air. Yeah, it's like you get to meet cool people.
You see really cool scenery usually and wildlife. We have learned it's a great way if you care about the wildlife, which we do kind of. You see a lot of nature and wildlife on the golf course. When we went to Florida, we went golfing and we saw alligators and all kinds of birds and iguanas, like this huge iguana, and his brother-in-law paid for this like nature tour, and we saw way more things on our golf course than they did on the nature course.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, it's a good way to experience the wildlife and stuff.
Yeah. And there's not gonna be like crowds, especially like on spring break and stuff.
Exactly.
Personal space. We like a personal space as Germans over here.
And what I was telling Eric is one of the reasons that I'm so willing to go along with it is I kind of hate planning things for us too. Like if I'm by myself, I like to research and see what to do, but it's kind of hard to like plan something for other people because it has to be something that I know he'll like. But he does all the decision making and all the planning. He researched all these courses and decides which one to go to, and I just go along for the ride, and I really like that.
That's awesome. It's so cute.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you getting more comfortable with your like alone time in a strange city?
I would love it.
Like I think that sounds blissful.
I love it. Yeah. I've never not loved it.
Are you becoming a reader because of this?
No, but I start audiobooks when I'm gone, and then I forget about them when I get home.
Yes. Well, I'm a little different, but yeah, we have a camping trip coming up or something, and I would like go to the library and check out 4 different books, and like maybe crack open the recipe book, and that's about it.
Right.
And like,
yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, good intentions, right?
Yes.
Anyway, so do you have a day brightener?
Yeah, matcha.
Jayna!
Was that what I almost texted you today and be like, I'm talking about matcha?
So now you're on the matcha train.
I'm a little
2
late.
weeks after me.
I'm
late.
late.
I was late to it too. So.
No, I've been ordering matcha at like White Magnolia Coffee Trailer for a couple months now. When I go, I get matcha.
I've never tried theirs.
Theirs is pretty good. It's a little, for me, I would like it a little stronger, like a little greener. Mm-hmm. So next time I'm going to ask for less milk. Now that I've experienced like real matcha. I think theirs is real matcha, but I think they just milk it up a little too much.
Yeah.
It's a little too sweet, a little too milky. But I had some really good ones in Texas. And I like the flavor. Sure, it's a little grassy, but if you get like the ceremonial grade, like it's good. And what's the best about it is the color. The color is just a day brightener. Like it's just watching pretty.
Well, even making your own, splashing that green concoction into your milk is so fun. So have you made yours at home?
No,
yet?
I don't know why I'm like making this a thing for myself, but I'm like, no, this is what I'm gonna order when I go out. I'm not gonna make it at home. But you know what? I keep thinking about it. I was like, man, if I would have matcha, I would make myself a matcha latte right now. And I'm like, why don't I just buy it? But I go to and I research and I'm like, I don't know what kind to get. And then you have to get like all the little tools. Like I want to do it right. I want the little brush.
You don't have to do it
and
right.
the sift. You don't sift and brush.
If you have the whisker, it does.
Oh, the whisk
brilliant.
Does it enough.
Yeah, warm water.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the brush.
That's fine. You can do it. I just don't feel like soaking it before I do it. And
well,
all that.
I know. That's why I wasn't sure if I wanted to get all the things. But if you're saying the whisk works good enough.
Leave today with, I'll give you some of I'll link down below, like an actual really good matcha.
Is it ceremonial grade?
It's absolutely, and it has to be ceremonial grade. It has to be from Japan.
Yeah.
It has to be bright green. I don't know. I've tried it at coffee shops and hated it. This stuff is so good. It's not even grassy. It's like jasmine, they call it, or something.
It's
I don't know.
so
It's
good.
floral almost. It's so
refreshing.
good. I had one this afternoon. I put raspberry pie filling in my whipped topping, and so I had a cloud foam on top of pink. It was
that sounds
so pretty.
really good.
Delicious. Vanilla cloud is so good on matcha. Strawberry cloud. Like, I don't like fruity stuff on my coffee, but on matcha it is so good. And it is.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. You can add fruit to matcha. I love like all the fruity flavors, and it doesn't go with coffee. Although, the other day, I saw this reel. Shot of espresso, soda water, like carbonated water, and fruit syrup. And I'm like, oh my word, I have to try this.
Coconut syrup. Try a coconut syrup.
They had like some for fruit syrup. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try this. So what did I do? I tried it, but I used like a
Oh, we're talking espresso, not Coke.
No,
Ew, it sounds
I
horrible.
know it sounds horrible.
I mean, I've made the carbonated
Grapefruit.
espresso.
It was grapefruit. I tried
grapefruit
grapefruit
with
soda, espresso, and ice.
You need to make it and see what
It was okay.
If you live to tell. You did make it.
Yeah, I did. But I think I want to try like a plain soda water and then a fruit syrup. I think that would be more the right ratios. It's really odd, but it's not horrible. It's better than you would expect. But anyway, that's what is appealing about matcha, is that you get to add fruit flavors.
Yeah.
But apparently you can add them to coffee too.
You should look up the health benefits as well. Of course, they say there's health benefits to coffee, but there's a lot of health benefits with matcha, in moderation, of course. Obviously, there is some caffeine in it, but I did look it up, and you can give your kids matcha in small doses, apparently, right? Like you would like a tea or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a fun way to shake it up. I still think at the end of the day, I'll be an iced latte girl for life, but matcha's just hit.
It adds another option.
Yes, and they're fun to make, and not everybody knows how to make them, so if you can make somebody one for free. Like, I've been having fun with that. Like, people aren't going to spend $5 on a matcha they probably aren't going to like.
Right.
But if I'm handing them a free one, take a sip. If you don't like it, I'll drink it.
Yeah.
I've been surprised how many, like, my mom drank her whole thing, and I'm like, hey, I was going to drink that because I didn't think you'd like it.
I feel like having an afternoon drink, but I don't necessarily want another coffee.
Yeah.
So it's a great option.
Anyway.
I need to just do it.
I don't know if that will or will not help with whatever health weight journey you're on that we're going to talk about today, but a pretty drink is always a day brightener.
Yes, for sure.
And I've learned, like, that's my dessert that's my dessert. When I was growing up as a kid, it was ice cream. Like every evening or every couple evenings, I would have ice cream for dessert. I don't do ice cream anymore, really, because it gets freezer burned because everybody in my family wants a different flavor.
Yep.
So my fancy coffee drinks. And I try not to be addicted, so I only have them a couple times a week. But anyway, today's topic. I don't even want to talk about this, but I feel like it's actually really important. But, like, I don't want to talk about it. This is how I kind of felt about the modesty episode.
I definitely felt that way with the modesty one.
Yeah. So enjoy the beautiful sounds of tropical Florida as I tell you about our next partner on today's episode, which is Wild Deodorant. I wanted to try out Wild because of their packaging, but I fell in love with it over a year ago when I was in Florida, and the stuff worked. Even in the tropical heat, Wild had my back. So that's always the bottom line with deodorant. You know, it's got to work. But not only that, Wild is powered by plants. No aluminum, salts, or parabens. They have absolutely beautiful, reusable cases to fit anybody's personality or style. My personal favorite is a blue and white tin that has a tropical motif to it. And right now, their super popular bee case is available as well. But no matter which case you pick, you're going to love Wild's formula. It's not really sticky, and it comes in amazing scents that keep you fresh for 24 hours. They have over 14 different refill scents that you just drop and twist into your case that can last a lifetime. And right now they've given me an offer that won't last long. When you go to the link in the description box and use our code HoneyI'mHomemaker20, you're going to get 20% off of your order. I also included a QR code on screen as well if that is easier for you. They also have body washes, lip balms, and hand wash as well. All their products are sustainable, vegan, and super effective. Again, just go to the link in the description box and use our code HoneyI'mHomemaker20 to get 20% off all of their products. I know you'll be just as wild about Wild as I am. Okay, sorry guys, I had to do that. This was a topic that I brought to the table because I asked for questions from younger moms or younger women that were following me on YouTube. What do you want to talk about? And there was a vast majority of people who wanted to talk about body image, and a lot of people asking how I lost the weight after having my fourth baby and stuff like that. And I just felt like I could not do that question justice. Like, there's so many caveats and nuances and precursors that I feel like you have to say before you can actually get into the advice.
Yeah, like a lot of fast talk. Like, this episode is not medical advice.
all the fine print.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get the fine print out of the way, our experiences and where we're coming from, because that's, you can't fault us for our point of view. Like, that's just how we were all born in the vessel we were born into.
Right.
And we'll speak from our experience. We're not gonna pretend to be somebody that we're not, but also we want to come at this topic with humility, knowing that we can only speak from our own very narrow perspective, because we've only lived in one body.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Although I sometimes feel like I've lived 5 or 6 lives.
Yeah.
And I feel like you probably feel the same way. So
Less than you, probably.
What is she saying?
I've had less children.
Oh.
Like, my weight has...
I'm like the yo-yo dieter or something.
No, your weight has fluctuated more times.
Back and forth.
And you've been pregnant more often.
Yeah.
I feel like after I had Finley, I've pretty much been the same.
Yeah. But if numbers come up or anything like that, just, I don't think they will, but like, I don't want to be triggering to anybody, but I also think sometimes it's good to have some, like, I want this to be profitable. I want this to be practical. We have a lot of practical tips for if you decide you do want to do something about your situation. But most of all, I think we want to speak to the heart of the matter and why we're going to talk about this topic for 40 minutes, but also then let's go about our day and not think about it anymore for a while.
Yeah.
Like, let's put it in its place,
right.
You know?
No,
Right.
When I was a girl, I was very proud of my body, probably too proud. I loved the way I looked. I was not self-conscious in any way, shape, or form. I thought I was hot. to put it bluntly, like, I did. I was very confident. And then after having kids,
even up into your 20s, like,
oh yeah,
even
up
when
until
you never had a Himalaya on your chin or anything
well,
like
okay,
that.
yes, I was very self-conscious about that, but I mean, like, the shape of my body. But yes, pimples were a huge source of, like, I did not feel confident about that until I had Jack. And then after Jack, I lost the weight, like,
What, did you gain a lot with your pregnancies? I feel like since you were pretty small,
I
you probably did.
Well, I had a miscarriage before Jack, which that was like one of the latest ones. That was like 13 weeks. So I had gained some weight. I definitely was, I had gained weight, and I got pregnant right away with him again. So I didn't necessarily lose that weight. And then I had gestational diabetes, which, you want to talk about, like, self-conscious issues or like mind games or feeling like you're a failure or
thinking about food all the time.
Yes. Oh my word. That was awful.
Well, you had to, like, the doctor told you had to have so much protein, right?
Yeah. So I gained a lot of weight. But then when I nursed him, the longer I nursed him, the more weight I lost. I just kept losing weight. And then I had Finley. And then I think I might have gained less, because I also had gestational diabetes and I knew it from the beginning. So I was more careful with what I was eating and stuff. So I think I lost less weight, gained less weight. But then after I had Finley, I didn't really lose it. Like, I lost the initial weight, and then I've pretty much stayed the same since then. I've had 3 miscarriages after Finley, and I gained a little bit and then lost that, I think. In all honesty, I have not weighed myself in probably over a year. So I really have no idea, but I don't know. Sometimes I stress about my weight, but lately I've just been like, it's stayed the same for so long, no matter how hard if I try to lose, I don't really, or I'll lose weight, but then as soon as I go back to my normal habits, I gain right back to like where I was, but I don't really gain much weight. So I don't know. I don't even really think about my weight anymore, really. I don't know. It is what it is.
Which is kind of, it is what it is.
When I accepted it and just realized that if I feel good and I try to, with my gestational diabetes issues, I do try to be very mindful about carbs. Now, that's something I could probably do better in, but it's not something that, since I learned what I learned, you can't unlearn some of those things. So I do try to be mindful of that, and I try to stay active. I go for walks. I don't work out. I can't, but I do go for walks and try to stay active in that way.
This girl has come so far when it comes to being active. In high school, like, you're like, I'm not going to break a sweat unless I'm out on my water skis or your wakeboard or whatever, right?
Oh,
like, you.
That's why I like water sports. You don't have to sweat.
But you're like, anyway, and then I remember Jayna has always for better or for worse, I don't know. You've always had more time in your life than me for some reason. I don't know. Just maybe it's
just
a kid thing.
living
I don't
the
know.
chill life,
but
man.
you just have more time. And I remember you would.
We all have 24 hours.
I'm the girl that would like do the 5Ks and like
I did
run at the gym a couple times a week. Me and my friend. I was a school teacher, so I had to try to stay. Like I wasn't doing it for weight. I was doing it for like to feel like a boss. I wanted to feel strong. I just like you do get dopamine and stuff.
Not me.
Most people when they work out, like, you know, and so it's almost addictive in some ways. But I never was a gym rat or anything like that. It was like 2 times a week. Like I never built muscle or bulked up or nothing like that. But then all of a sudden one day I find Jayna is like going like on these Fitbit challenges with people and like walking every day. And I'm like, I can't even get out of the house some days. I'm just like swamped down with, I think it was 3 children at the time. And I felt like my body was crazy. I'm like, I was so jealous. I'm like, she's always walking. Like that was supposed to be my thing, and I don't even get to walk anymore.
No, I do like a walk. It's good for your mental health. It's good to be outside. The fresh air is good for you.
You'll allow it.
So yeah, I'll allow it. I do enjoy a good walk. I had an experience the other day coming home from Texas that I hope I never, ever have again. It was horrible. I thought I was going to pass away. Like, for real.
Do tell.
So we had a layover in Charlotte. We had a 1-hour flight from San Antonio to Charlotte, and for whatever reason, that airplane boarded the slowest I have ever seen an airplane board. I don't know what these people were doing, but it took forever to get everyone on the plane. And then we landed, and it took forever to get to the gate. We just sat on the tarmac for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know. But our next flight was boarding at the time we landed. And then by the time we got off the plane, it was like 15 minutes into boarding. So we had to run. And this is Charlotte Airport, which is big. Daryl figured it out or mapped it. It was like 3/4 of a mile to our next gate.
And there was a possibility you could make it. So you had to try.
I didn't think there was, but Eric's like, we are running. And at a certain point, I was stressing Eric out. And he was like, you were so annoying. So I stopped looking at the time. I stopped Googling other flights. I just sat there. And I'm like, it is what it is. I will run.
As you were sitting on the tarmac.
Well, yeah. I was like, I'm done. Like, we're probably not going to make it, but I'm done stressing about it. It is what it is. I didn't even look at the time anymore. So I didn't.
You should have been sitting there doing your stretches.
I should have been warming up.
Strapping your sneakers.
Because this was, mind you, 10 o'clock at night. My body thought it was going to sleep because I was sitting on a plane basically sleeping, right? It was bedtime. My body thought it's bedtime. Well, we get off the plane and we take off. Eric takes off. He's like, I'm going to get to the gate and try to hold it. Like,
was
I'm
it just you two or was there a
No,
group of
Daryl and Dawn too.
So 4. Dawn! Oh, I love this. Tell us what Dawn did. She's awesome.
So Eric takes off and I quickly fall behind. But I'm, running as fast as I can. Eventually I'm walking as fast as I can. And I'm trying to get there as fast as I can. I have to pee so bad. I tasted blood in my mouth. Like, my chest hurt so bad. And I'm running. And then I go on one of these, like, the walking things, the runway things.
Yes.
So apparently I didn't read the signs correctly. I picked the wrong one, which it was fine, but like it took me out past where I needed to go. So I had to backtrack.
And Eric was just like on his own legs.
Yeah. So that was annoying. So I was going to D8. When I got to like the D's, Eric called me and he's like, I'm here. They said they'll hold it for 8.
He abandoned you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna get to the gate and hold the plane, as if he thought he could hold the plane. I don't know. He just thought he would get there and be like, hey, they're coming, like, don't leave. Anyway, he gets there and he's like, she can hold it for 8 minutes, which I don't think she was holding it for 8 minutes. I think that's the amount of time that we had. And I'm like, well, I'm at D2. And he's like, oh, okay, well, you'll make it then. And I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. He's like, well, go, you have time. So I went to the bathroom, washed one hand on the way out.
I love the honesty.
Got on the plane. And the embarrassing part is that I got off the airplane before Daryl and Dawn. And Daryl and Dawn are older than us. Daryl's a bigger guy. And they were not that far behind me. So I decided I never want to be in this situation again. Like, it took me so long to recover. Like, my chest
You tasted
hurt
blood from a 3/4 mile.
Shut up.
Now, how much luggage did you have?
A backpack and a carry-on.
So I'm surprised you weren't talking about your shoulder, like, dying.
No.
But yeah.
My legs were sore the next day, and my chest hurt. And now, Eric is a relatively fit guy, and he said when he breathed deep the next day, his chest hurt too. So I think it was just because it was so intense.
Yeah.
And from like 0 to 100.
You weren't doing anything with proper posture or form either.
No, we were just like
Yeah.
Anyway, it took me so long to recover. Like, I was coughing then, and I was like, I just could not, like, get my body to, like,
but that's what I'm talking
again.
about. Like, there have been points in my life where going with laundry up the steps makes me huff and puff.
Yeah.
And I don't like that feeling.
No, I never want to be in that situation again. So either I have to take up running or never book a flight with a layover.
Yeah.
I'm going to not book flights with layovers because I'm not going to run. But I guess, I did it.
Yeah.
I made it.
You made it.
And I wasn't that far behind Eric.
And you even had time for the bathroom.
And I even had time to pee.
Wow. And I'm impressed that you even navigated there.
I was a little scared. Like, if I would have stopped to think about it, I probably would have freaked out. But I followed the signs. And besides taking that wrong ramp thing, which just made me backtrack a little, I did it. Like, I got there and I wasn't lost or confused. So that's a win.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like that story was worth the 10 minutes it took to tell.
Do you think?
Whereas my win story, maybe not so much.
No, it's a good story. If nothing else, I got a good story out of it. And we made the flight. I was telling my nephew, who works at school, he's a teacher at the same school I am, and I was telling him and some other coworkers about this story, and I was like being dramatic. I'm like, I almost died. It was horrible. And Jesse's like, well, why'd you do it? Like, death or missing a flight? Like, and I was like, yeah, you don't understand. I had kids. My mom might have killed me if I didn't make it home to pick up my kids.
Like the blood in my mouth and the pain in my lungs is nothing.
But I've heard of that before. That, like, it's something that happens to runners. Like, it happens, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I wouldn't have said it was blood, like metallic taste, but that happens. Yeah, especially in like cold weather and stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah. Anyway, I think Jayna and I both have come to pretty good perspectives on this, but it took me 30 years. I don't feel like I always had a great perspective. And I think also I want to give so much credit to my mom and just like my upbringing, just for modeling like the worth of a woman. I feel like, at least for myself, I'll speak for myself, I don't feel like I was ever taught that my worth is wrapped up in my physical appearance or my beauty. Now, maybe it was still misplaced. Like, maybe I would have grown up feeling like my worth is in my usefulness or my talents or something, which is maybe another unhealthy perspective. Obviously, our worth is in Christ and everything, but that's easier to say than to feel sometimes. But yeah, I feel like the emphasis in the Mennonite culture is not so much. Maybe it's on fashion, like modest fashion and stuff like that, more than it should be. I don't know, but it's definitely not on cosmetic appearance.
Yeah, but I mean, there's the whole other end of things is dealing with eating issues like anorexia or bulimia, and we're not exempt from that in our culture either in the Mennonites. I mean, I've seen it.
Or gluttony.
Yeah, both sides are not healthy, and I'd say we probably struggle with, as a whole, our community would tend towards gluttony than anorexia, but we have both. I've seen both. Mm-hmm. And it is sad, and yeah, our body is a tool to get us through life. Like, we're given our body to serve us. And what is the point of life? Your body's not going to matter when life is over. But if your body or your obsession of it is getting in the way of living your life, then there's a problem. So I don't know if that
100%. And the comparison is the thief of joy is so true in this case. So many women, we are taught in our society to compare our bodies to our pre-kid body or our adolescent body, our teenage body, that may or may not ever even be a healthy goal ever again in your life. It may or may not. I'm not going to sit here and tell you. But I got several questions saying, oh, you look so good now after having your baby and blah, blah. And I will admit, this past winter, there was some stress in my life. There was some sickness in my life. And I accidentally got down to my pre-all baby. Like, before I had any babies, I got down to that weight without even trying, which sounds infuriating, but it was like not in a pleasant way. I was sick and stuff, whatever. And then it just, your body naturally, it's like I like to tell my sister, your body will naturally find its spot. Like, I'm probably going to stay within a certain amount of weight if I have a healthy lifestyle and I eat relatively healthy. And then as we get older, the whole metabolism slowing down, that's going to be something you have to take into a factor. But my mom also says your appetite isn't as much either, which is, I guess, a good thing.
Yeah.
But I think we need to stop comparing ourselves. I mean, we definitely need to stop comparing ourselves to our pre-childbearing years for sure. And if you look at me as an example of like, oh, she lost the baby weight, that's inspiring. Like, yay, good, be inspired, go do your thing. But if you also look at somebody and they lost all the baby weight and they look really fit and like blah, 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 all this stuff, and you just are thinking, how? Well, then that's not the role model for you. If it looks absolutely unattainable and feels absolutely unattainable, go find somebody in your real life that maybe has the same genetics as you, or maybe it's like a sister or something who has the same body type as you. Like maybe you do have to lose or should lose 20, 30 pounds or whatever. Find a role model that is actually attainable to inspire you, not to compare, but see what I'm going with this?
Yeah, kind of. Maybe you need to like see a doctor or run some tests and make sure there's no underlying physical issues before you just try to like lose weight on your own, because maybe there's something they can do to help, or maybe you have a hormone that's out of balance. Just like make sure everything's good before you start trying to lose weight, because you could just really get really frustrated and do harm to your body. Just I don't know, like just be gentle with yourself too.
And timing is half the battle. Like, think about it. Objectively evaluate when is a good time to start. Do not do anything that first year after having a baby. Like, you just want to enjoy your baby. Try to get sleep. Sleep is a lot of it too. Like, you can't put your body under sleep stress and then also eating stress or like workout stress. Like, don't just let yourself go maybe, but also don't start anything new or really get too, like your body will kind of, especially if you're breastfeeding and stuff, like your body's going through a lot. And I don't think you need to seriously, like I think you almost have to have a wait and see mentality. Like after a year, then we'll see what we have to work with and what we want to do. And you also, even if you're not, like maybe you're 45 and you're listening to this, I don't know what you're going to get out of this, but like maybe you're 45 and you haven't had babies in a long time, but evaluating the time of your life when you want to start something new, you know, maybe you have a new job or you move to a new house, or like make sure there's not other things going on before you try to start do something really strict or like really intense,
because you'll burn out and it won't help.
Yeah, like, and at the same time though, you can't also wait till it's like the perfect ideal situation.
Yeah, I just always go back to the fact that your body is a tool. You have a purpose here on this earth. And what is our purpose on earth? It's to fulfill the Great Commission, right? Go out and make disciples, tell the word about Jesus. If that is our goal, that's our life's mission, our body is a tool to help that. So is your body helping or hindering? Are you in a place physically where your weight is holding you back from that? Are you in a place physically where your mental health is holding you back from that? Is your obsession with your wrinkles holding you back from that? Is your obsession with zits holding, like, what is holding you back from fulfilling the Great Commission? And if you're a mother, your Great Commission is to tell your kids about Jesus and raise them for people who can go into the uttermost parts of the earth and tell the world about Jesus. Like, that's what our body is here to help us do, right? That's the point. So instead of making the goal to lose weight or to look good, make the goal to treat your body in the best way that you can so that it can serve you. Treat it well, be respectful to it, be kind to it, because it is a tool and it should be helping you fulfill your mission in life. And if it's not, and this is outside of sickness or health struggles that, you know, there's no easy fix for. Paul in the Bible talks about his thorn in the flesh, and we don't know exactly what that was, but there was something physical that he felt that was hindering his mission. And God didn't really agree that it was hindering his mission, because he said it's yours to bear and he didn't take it away from him. So maybe some of you are given a physical affliction of some sort that it's just part of your life and you can use it to fulfill your goal, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Oh, 100%. That's why it's like, do we want to even talk about this? Like, it does matter a little. Just like that Bible verse, bodily exercise profits a little. So it's a little worthwhile to talk about this. But I feel like us talking about it for 40 minutes straight makes it feel like we're putting too much of an emphasis on it. But that's
especially the weight. Like, that is just not something that maybe I'm feeling convicted. Maybe I could drop 20 pounds. I could. I should, maybe. But I'm probably not going to, because there's just more important things in my life that I'd rather focus on. And whether that's, you can judge me for that, but that's the state of things. But now there are other issues that I could be taught a lesson in, like obsessing about forehead wrinkles, or like I keep seeing these ads for frownies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my word, like that's what I need.
Yeah, that's what
like that would fix my problem. But is it really a problem? Like, God designed our bodies, and, you know, as we age, it's a sign that we're not here to stay. It's a sign that we're going to be moving along. We've lived 33 years of life, and soon, you know, we're going to not be here anymore, because this is not our home. Our body is not our final destination. It's not our resting place. So it is tempting for me to be like, I need those frownies because, you know, like they'll make me look younger. And I don't think it would be wrong for me to get them at all. Like if that was something I really felt like I wanted to do, sure. Like, I don't really think that's going to be detrimental.
Do you think how you would explain it to your children?
I would just say
You don't have girls.
no.
Like,
It's different. It's different. But I don't want to. Like, the thought of putting them on every night. If it was a once and done thing, sure. But you have to be consistent or it won't work. And the thought of putting that stuff on my forehead every night or even a couple times a week sounds like a chore to me. And so then why would I?
Yeah.
I don't have to. Even though it feels like this is what I need. No, it's not.
I feel like my mom was a really good example of this, which I didn't even get into my body journey, which we can get into that a little bit. But like my mom, she's like, I'm going to be moisturizing my face anyway. My face is dry and scaly, which I love using tallow balm, plug, link down below. But yeah, so you're going to put moisturizer on anyway. Why not have anti-aging properties in it? Who knows if it works or if it doesn't,
Right.
but it takes 2 seconds. I'm putting it on anyway. It's literally in and out. I don't think about it. And so she would get like the Mary Kay Time Wise
My mom
cream or
used
whatever.
that stuff too.
Took her like, it was not obsessive at all. She was trying without trying,
And
really. You
some
know what I mean?
people-
It was a
some
very healthy approach.
Some people really enjoy that whole skincare routine.
Yeah.
I don't as much as some people, but I think if it's something you're into and you enjoy, like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying accept the freedom that you don't have to.
Yeah, or maybe even just like the emphasis for myself is not just on, I want to look good today. It's like I want to maintain as best I can what I have
Yeah.
now. So when I'm older and stuff, my eyelids aren't falling into my eyeballs or whatever.
Right.
I mean,
That's a little extreme, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, we want to do what we can with what we have.
yeah, and we're not going to go too much in detail about health and food. That's a whole nother podcast. But I definitely think once you know something, you definitely, like you said with counting your carbs and stuff, once you know something, it's hard to forget it. And then why not just like keep that in mind? I've been lately like definitely thinking about not looks health, but more like cell health, like each cell in your body. Is it hydrated? Are you eating whole foods? Things like that. I don't think it can hurt. And I think it's even godly to, we talked about this before, people putting too much emphasis on being crunchy or whatever. And I think it's fine if 100 of us come out at 100 different places on that scale. It's just when it becomes obsessive and it's hindering your life or you're putting it before other priorities. But for myself, I try not to talk down on my looks and my appearance, but in all honesty, as a kid, I was always very scrawny, slight, like, but yeah, anyway, just a scrawny kid. I grew up, I was average in every way, average hair color, average height, average weight. Like, I was like, you know what? It's boring, but it's easy. Like, I don't have to think about it too much. Like, I tan moderately. I always had friends that were tanner. I always had friends that were taller, that were thinner. Like, so I think for myself, I probably put more of an emphasis on like cute clothes or like fitting in, especially since I was like the plain girl for a while. Like, I really obsessed too much about my clothing because I wanted to fit in, but I couldn't because of my church standards and stuff. And it was definitely not a healthy place to be in. So I was maybe more obsessing about appearance, not body.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I meant too in the beginning when I said I was very confident. I was very confident about my body, but not so much about the clothes I wore and,
but I'm saying
flaws on my face.
my brain effort, like my brain capacity went towards like my appearance, not my body. Yeah.
Right.
Then having little sisters come along and they naturally all went through that too of like thinking about their body and their appearance. And I was like, always like, don't worry about it. Like, you're not that important. Nobody sees the big giant zit on your chin. Like, even though I worried about it at the time.
I had a massive zit and one of my friends was like, I hope you're not feeling subconscious about your zit because like no one thinks about it. I'm like, okay.
You just
thanks.
What a passive aggressive helpfulness.
I don't think she meant to be passive aggressive.
That's kind of cute. The things you say as a teenager without running it through the filter first.
My friends and I have been talking about it a lot too recently, how like we're just having some problems that come with age. Like, I don't know, dental work, and my one friend has an eye issue and high cholesterol and like just old people things. And we just kind of joke about it because what else are you going to do? I mean, it's a sign of aging. And I mean, I guess how grateful we are that we've made it this far, really. I don't know.
33. Oh my.
I know, but like some people don't get to live to be 33.
Yeah. That's the harsh truth.
Yeah. So aging isn't all bad, I guess, but it is kind of hard to accept. Eric went to the dentist the other day and he was told he needs like $11,000 worth of dental work. And he's like, well, how much to just rip them all out and put implants in? And that would be about $70,000. So like,
he was joking.
No, his teeth are horrible. His teeth are in very bad. And it's like,
he would have considered this.
Well, we are considering it.
You're $70,000.
He can put $11,000 worth into his mouth this year, and then maybe next year it'll be another $5,000. Like, it's not. And I'm sure there's more people out here in this situation. It is not that rare. Like,
are we talking root canals? Like,
yeah, root canals,
individual
crowns,
ones?
cavities, like just a lot of different issues. His teeth are just not healthy. They're not healthy teeth. And it's really frustrating because there's no good options. And I feel like the whole dental industry is very frustrating because insurance doesn't cover anything. You can buy dental insurance, but it's kind of useless in my experience. I don't know. Maybe someone has some good ideas. In the past, we have gone to Mexico to get Eric's dental work because it's like half the price, but then it's more time off work.
The airplane ticket.
Yeah. Well, we actually got it still, considering all that, it was cheaper. So we could do that again, but then I feel like it's going to be a recurring problem. And even if money wasn't an issue and we went the route of 100% implants, well, that's not without worry either, because that can lead to like bone density loss, and like that's not a permanent fix it all solution either. So like there's no good options, and it's so frustrating. And I know it causes him a lot of, like, he just hates it so much going to the dentist in the first place. And it's like, if you would go more regularly, they say maybe he wouldn't be in this position. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just very frustrating. And it's like 200 years ago, you would have had to make these decisions. It would be like, you'd have two choices. Do you want a painful rotten tooth, or do you want no tooth? You know, that's the options. You wouldn't have to stress about it. So while we do have more options, they're not good options. And now we have to choose between a bad option and a bad option. And it's like, how much do we stress about this? How much money do we put into this situation? It's just a temporal body, you know, like we're not here to stay. So how much is it wise? I don't know. It's just choices.
But suddenly it makes you, not you specifically, but suddenly it makes one who hears this story so thankful for their like semi-crooked teeth that are perfectly healthy.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
like it definitely puts things in perspective. It's not, I think, I was telling Jayna this earlier, like that people say, oh, wisdom comes like with maturity and everything. But I'm like, are they people just saying like you'll have bigger cares and bigger problems and bigger fish to fry when you get older, so then these things won't matter as much anymore? Like,
I think there's some truth to that. But also as you age, you just realize like what's important. And yeah, there might be more hardships, but there's also more joy, I think, that comes with maturity. I don't know. It's both.
I think my encouragement to the younger mom, or like younger girl maybe who's not even a mom yet, is to just to take care of what you have, take care of your physical machine, do the best you can with what you have. Everybody has like, you know, some people have different grocery budgets, and, you know, some people have different like amounts of time or access to a gym or outdoors or whatever. Just do the best with what you have. Think about it a little bit and move on. I don't know, like do what you can.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I
I will give a few little practical advice. They say you cannot outrun a bad diet. So if you decide, okay, on Monday, I love starting on Mondays, like just, okay, on Mondays, I'm going to eat whole foods and have one sugary item a day. Because sometimes, honestly, I'm not a glutton, but sometimes I'm excessive. Like, I think I have to have a little handful of chocolate chips after every meal. And then pretty soon it's like, you know, and I can do that and not necessarily look a lot different, but I'm going to feel a lot different. My skin's going to look a lot different. You know, it's not showing self-control. But let's say you want to start with some new habit. This can work for any kind of habit, really. But okay, Monday, I'm starting this new habit. Make sure, of course, it's good timing. You don't have a lot of other irons in the fire. And then I would say a very easy way to start is just start eating whole foods. Focus on your grocery shopping. Buy beautiful produce. The other day, I just stocked up on a whole bunch of different berries. I had like a whole variety just sitting there in my fridge, all these different colors. And I had cucumbers and like the colorful peppers and things. And I was more excited to eat them. I had a good dip, which, okay, was the dip healthy? It was a lot of extra calories, I guess, but I was excited to eat my vegetables with my ranch dip, you know? Yeah, focus on, I think there's a reason God made vegetables and fruits so pretty, because we are supposed to be eating them. And it's the time of year too where I feel like it's more accessible. Prep it well, store it attractively. Also, I did want to say too, I'm just wrapping up here with a few thoughts. Weight is a visible sign of your health. So don't feel guilty if you don't, like, if your goal is not to be fat. Sorry, I used that word. I know it's very triggering to some people, but it's a word that we all know what means. It's not a specific number or anything, but like excessive weight that's hindering your life. It's okay if you don't want to be that way. I feel like sometimes with the body positive culture, it's like you just have to love your extra 30 pounds or 40 pounds or, you know, you have to love your zits or your crow's feet or your wrinkles. You have to love them. Like, if there's something you can do about it, great. See what you can do. Ask a doctor's advice. Make sure you're working smarter, not harder. Like, I mean, you have to work harder too, but also be working smart as well. Make sure you know what you're doing. Do something if you can, and then go live life.
Yeah. In case we forgot, due to the last couple episodes, this actually is a Homemakers podcast, which I feel like we've maybe veered off from that. But to tie that back in, you are the homemaker, so you kind of set the health tone for your household too. Like that's kind of on your plate, and you get to make the choices most likely of like what snacks are you going to have around the house. And so what is your family culture going to be like? Are you going to go for a walk after dinner? Are you going to sit down and play Game Boy? Like you can be in charge of some of those things, and your children will model what you do. So as you go about your daily homemaking, maybe just think about what choices can you make to bring more health, and even the things that you say around your children to bring more, I don't like the term body positivity, but to be more grateful for what we have and grateful for our bodies, and instead of talking down about them or always wanting what we don't have.
Yeah, and you don't have a daughter necessarily, so it's probably, you don't have a daughter.
I was like, oh, really?
Yeah. But with me having a daughter, it definitely comes up more, I've noticed with her than with my sons. I would just try to make a point of talking about, like, your red hair is so pretty, but because she used to be so jealous of her one friend who had long brown hair. I said, and you know what? Your friend is probably looking at you with your short red hair, wishing she had colorful curly hair, you know, like it goes every way. And just like having those conversations. But it's like my mom always said, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Yeah. And I think that applies to your own body. If you're trying to say something mean about your body in front of your daughter, just don't say anything at all.
Boys really are so different, because I told Jack he's cute, or like if I say he's cute, he's like, oh, now I have to go change. He hates when I call him cute. Anyway, like it's just totally different when you're a boy.
My boys use cute as a derogatory term to each other. So you're cute. No, you're cute.
It's hilarious.
It's adorable. My one friend, her little girl was at school or somewhere, a function, and a little girl came up to her daughter and told her, just very curiously, you only have one eyebrow. And yeah, obviously everybody has different amounts of body hair and different colors and everything else. And then my friend was just like, oh my word, I don't know what to do. She's so young. Anyway, I think you just have to have discernment. But she decided she was going to help her daughter out, and she just fixed it.
Yeah.
Boom. And like she didn't make a big deal of it. She's just like, sure, if it bothers you, we can fix it. But yeah, I think you just sometimes have to follow your children's lead a little bit, but also be the leader too. So that's why I want to come at this conversation with a lot of humility, because we talked like we're such old ancient women here in this episode, but we really are young in the relative scheme of things. So we reserve the right to change our mind, mature even more, and maybe we'll come back in a couple years with some better advice than
hopefully
this. If you didn't like it, maybe there'll be better advice
Stick
in the
around.
future. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here,
and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.